Booger is an opportunistic animal, or whatever you want to call them. And they will take advantage of garbage cans and dumpsters, even the ones at home. That's one of the things I've learned throughout the years, is to drive through the back country roads. And if you see these dumpsters, which now garbage is regulated. And so what happens is, people know what day garbage pickup is. Boogers can figure it out too.
Right.
It's an established behavior. And a lot of times, I call them the garbage dumpster divers. Normally it's the older Bigfoot, or the ones who've been injured and cannot physically chase down deer or coyote or hogs or whatever. So what they'll end up doing is they become dumpster divers or garbage can divers. And the best way you can figure this out is by riding all these little old country back roads, preferably gravel roads. The more isolated the better. But see, the county expects people to pay whether they actually use the dumpsters or not. You know, back in the day, you used to burn your garbage or throw scraps in the backyard, which was another way of the boogers filching a free meal. But what was funny about it, once they started regulating and making people pay for something, even if they wasn't using, people just gradually started using these dumpsters provided by the county, because they're paying for it anyway through their taxes. So they had put the garbage out a certain day of the week. The garbage collection people will come that one day and pick it up. What's so cool about it is, in the country you have feral dogs or your neighbor's dogs that always get in the garbage can. Normally when they get in the garbage cans, they'll jump up on them and knock them on the ground.
Yep.
A raccoon and a possum and things of that nature will turn around and climb up them if they can get the lid open enough, and then they'll drop off in there. But here's how you figure out whether a booger's doing it or not. A booger can physically stand there next to the garbage can, raise the lid, drop it on the other side, and then he'll start reaching into there to find, and he's busting open the garbage bags or the sacks or whatever you collected garbage in to throw into the main container. He'll bust open the bags and find chicken bones, scraps, bread, molded bread, things he can't get on his own. And what's so funny about it is, he'll selectively, instead of keeping the garbage in the dumpster or in this container, he'll reach down there and he'll pick it up and he'll see and smell it or whatever, and then he'll throw it on the ground. And then he'll dig into there until he finds these little delicacies that it can eat. But the evidence left behind, if you ride these back roads, preferably the day of the collection, if you ever figure out the schedule, and you drive just slowly down the road looking all these garbage containers, which is stationed right there on the shoulder of the road, and start looking and seeing which containers where garbage is dumped on the ground right there beside the container. Now the person the guy in the garbage truck 9 times out of 10 today is going to he's not even going to get out of his truck, because they got a mechanical arm now that I reach down and grab that container and pick that container up and dump it into the thing, and he'll jack it up to make sure he gets all the stuff out of it. Then he'll set that container down. Well, then the homeowner comes home that evening to collect his container to pull it closer to his house, which 9 times out of 10 in the country, he lives kind of off the road. But sometimes if the booger knows that nobody's in that house during the daytime, or especially at night, because most of these people will put their garbage out the night before, these things that come along in the dark, raise the lid, reach down in there, find what they want, all the time just not making a general mess of it, but they'll throw these little scraps of garbage bags, plastic garbage bags, usually drink containers, anything that's above the food that's deeper in there. And he don't give a damn that he's making a mess, so he'll casually just drop it on the ground. And it won't be much, but to really bring attention to it. But if you know what you're looking for and you start riding these roads and seeing these little bitty garbage all around these cans, chances are a booger the one did it, because a raccoon ain't going to do that. Raccoon's going to fall off in the container and eat it while he's in there. He's just going to shuffle stuff around.
Or he will knock it over, won't he?
Who?
A coon.
Yeah, a big boar, which is a male coon, will knock it over if he's big enough to do it. Talking about anywhere from 12 to 20 pound raccoon, and they are that big when they get mature. But a dog can't get up there and do it, so he's going to use his body weight to knock the container over. Then he's going to partake of it. But a booger won't. A booger will walk up there, raise the lid, dig around in it. The stuff that's in his way between him and the delicacy that he can smell, he's going to pick it up and throw it out on the ground. It won't be much, it's just enough so he can get to what he's after, whether the scraps or the bones or whatever that's in that container. And if you ride the roads, especially the mornings before the garbage collection people come through there and empty these things out, you will see these small telltale signs at that dumpster laying on the ground all around the can. They normally do not close the lid afterwards. They'll leave the lid wide open, which is another sign. Because all they was after in the first place is the food that was in that dumpster.